Jackie. Welcome to the Social Space. This is the show all about Wichita Falls, Texas, and Jackie says soon the whole wide world.
Yes.
I don't believe it.
No, but I'm telling you, believe it.
I am Eric Crossland, lower third. Over to my left, Jackie. A suit, a smart suit today.
A smart suit today.
Is that what I described that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's spring, it's flower day.
That's right.
And it's music day.
Okay, that's right. And to your left, Andrew Bell wearing that Canadian Mountie hat.
Yes.
Out there to arrest some Canucks if you see any. And to my, what's that?
Well, I'm pumped about the black boots.
Yeah, someone just left those. What's the story behind those?
No,
boots?
I don't want to tell
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Remember that Facebook Live. He didn't steal those.
No.
And to my right, this is our musical show. You know this guy from a lot of different things, but we're on here. He's on here today because he's a wonderful drummer in the park. John Cameron, thanks for being here, John.
Yes.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, Jackie.
You're
Your name?
welcome. Yeah.
I don't know this guy.
Eric. We used to work together at Channel 6. We used to sit in the back, the two old guys back there, and talk smack about all the young kids that worked there and how they were good for nothing.
Older.
Older.
But before we get into it, John, I just want to thank our partners real quick, which I'll handle. Thank you very much. To Channel 6 KAUZ. They are, that's where we play 10:35 p.m. Sundays, unless there's a sport. Sometimes it's a little bit later than that.
Yeah.
NewsTalk 1290, that's Townsquare Media,
Yes.
10:30 a.m. Saturday mornings. You can hear the audio version. And then Tanya and Sean Choate over there at Impact Signs at Falls Truck Center, great partners. Got our wraps on all those buses.
Oh, yeah.
People always text me and pictures of them spitting on mine.
Casey, my wife, just sent me a text and said, look, you there.
Spitting on mine?
No, well, she didn't spit on it. Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, John Cameron, a lot of people know you from the TV and whatnots, but I don't know if everybody knows what a funky drummer you are. How long have you been playing?
My folks bought my first drum kit in the summer of 1986. 1986. And that was an interesting time because popular music at that time, there was not a lot of not a lot of instruments being played in popular music. It was all synthesizers and drum machines. So young John had to go back to the 60s and 70s to actually hear drummers playing music, whether it was Led Zeppelin or Jimi Hendrix or Rush or something like that.
That's crazy. I
It's
thought about
interesting,
that.
yeah.
You were a drummer, or a
I
drummer.
was, yeah. My parents bought me a drum kit when I was probably 10. And I can remember coming home from school every day, putting on my headphones in my room, and I would play for hours.
Yeah.
And my mom would never say anything about it.
What?
She yeah.
Go, Carol.
I know.
That's a true mom.
I didn't quite get the same deal.
Really?
Well, I'm the youngest of three, and my parents are a little bit older, so I got away with maybe 20, 30 minutes after school just to kind of, get my restlessness out. But,
Yeah, little boys need to get that restlessness
yeah,
out.
get our wiggles out. Yeah.
That's right.
John, what inspired you to do the drums versus any other instrument?
I didn't grow up in a rock and roll household. Strangely enough, my mom would listen to stuff like marching music, like John Philip Sousa and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And there was something about hearing those marches, something about the drums made you want to move. I mean, it was quite literally inspiring you to march or to move. Mm-hmm. And while I did play some brass instruments in high school band, man, when those drums would kick in, it would just, my heart would start beating, and I just made a connection to that sound. And I was like, I want to do that. So I begged and begged my parents. I was like, I really want to learn to play drums. I really want some drums. And they made it happen like for my 14th birthday or something like that.
That is a big ask for parents.
Sure. It is a big ask.
That's a lot of, you don't just say yes automatically.
Yes, that was the day, the day I got that kit, that was the day that everyone in the family started going deaf.
John, we see you quite a bit around, downtown Wichita Falls, playing on corners and stuff like that. Why did you start doing that? And what inspired you to start doing that?
This is going to be a long answer, but it's going to be worth the payoff.
Okay.
In 2009, family trip to New Orleans. And for every year after going, my daughter would bother me to, Dad, we got to go back to New Orleans. Uh-huh. She made a connection to that city that just stuck with her. And late in January of 2020, I said, if you can free up some time and I can free up some time, we're going to go to New Orleans on spring break. And we freed up some time, but in the days leading up to our planned vacation, this virus really started making the headlines, right? But we decided we're gonna go. So we arrived in New Orleans on the 14th of March, the night they reported their first death.
Oh boy.
And we were there for maybe 36 hours, and we're like, you know, we probably need to head back to Texas because it was sounding pretty bad. There was talk that the mayor might shut it down.
We all remember about that time.
So, so that was a long drive home from New Orleans. I was like, you know, my father brain was saying, did I just expose my entire family to a disease that could potentially kill us or make us very sick?
Yeah.
Thank God we suffered through with no ill effects. But all right, to get there, it is very common to hear music played in the streets of New Orleans.
Sure.
And you know, we were kind of here in Wichita Falls, we were kind of shutting things down by spring break and beyond. And we were all getting cabin fever, and the home I live in is simply too small to set up the drums and play without without driving everyone insane.
Yeah. You got a marriage to think about.
Yes. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna load up the car, come downtown. Because if you're standing in the middle of the city and you hear silence, that's death. You know, that's something's wrong. So I was like, well, I'm going to take some of that spirit of New Orleans. I'm going to bring it to Wichita Falls. I set up at 7th and Indiana, just on the corner, and I just played for about an hour. And a few people wandered by, and I could hear the drums kind of reverberating off through the city. And it's where I wanted to be. And you know, if anyone benefited from my being there or hearing me at a distance, then.
Wait, I don't know if it was the first time you did it when we were coming back from a shoot or something, and we just started following the sound, and we were like, and I remember I even said something. I was like, you know, my buddy John Cameron, plays drums, and then sure enough, as we got closer, I was like, that's him. And it was really, really bright in our day.
Yeah, it's cool.
It was so much
Really
fun. We
cool.
watched for a while, and I've stumbled across you a few times now, which is great. This is our street music episode, and that's about all the time we have for you this segment, John. Now we're going to see you again in the third segment. Along with our second guest, Anthony, who also plays downtown. You can catch him outside of Maniac's Mansion or Carrot or all sorts of places. I've had my windows open at the Holt and just listen to him tinkle the ivory.
Oh, man.
What if one day both you guys didn't know both of y'all were playing and you just like heard one of you over here and you heard the other one over
that'd
here?
be
You
cool.
notice?
That would be cool. Yeah.
Anyway, so street music, street musicians. Thank you so much for being here, John.
It's always my pleasure.
And we're going to be right back with Anthony Ailey, the Social Space.
Falls Truck Center has parts and is quickly becoming the go-to provider for big truck parts for every major manufacturer on the highway, including thousands of in-stock OE and quality aftermarket brands. With over 45 years combined experience selling and locating those hard-to-find parts, Joseph and Jack are on standby and ready to assist you with any repair project. Need service too? Falls Truck Center can get you in a bay and back on the road within hours, not days or weeks. Come see us at Falls Truck Center next to Flying J. Call us at 940-64-PARTS.
Hey, welcome back to the Social Space. This is our street musician episode, I would call that. We got Jackie Hoegger, Andrew Bell, I'm Eric Crossland, and now to my right, Anthony Ailey. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
You've seen this guy around.
My
You've
pleasure.
either see him. You've seen him set up outside of Maniac's Mansion. You've seen him set up outside of Carrot. You've even seen him in the back of a truck being driven around the city as he plays. Did you not know that, Jackie?
No.
Yeah. So he gets driven around in a truck. Who drives that truck?
It's my buddy Thad Douglas. It was
Okay.
actually-
So Anthony, the next time that happens, you got to text me because I'm getting in the back of that truck. Okay?
It's happened before, but with intoxicated people.
You're like, get out!
I want to sing a song, but I didn't ask you to.
Yeah.
Well, I promise I won't get intoxicated.
Where's Facebook Live? I won't say what I want to say. So, Anthony, how long have you been playing? When did you start playing piano?
16 years, 12 years old. That's when I started.
Yeah.
27 now.
And then what got you going? I mean, how'd you start playing?
Funny enough, so Marcus's wife, Twee, is my cousin.
We're talking about Marcus McGee?
Yes.
Last week's guest?
Yes. She had a keyboard, and I happened to just stumble upon it and started creating songs. They were terrible, absolutely terrible, but that's where the love began, and I just never stopped playing ever since.
Are you self-taught?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Well, and you play special events, weddings, and
Yes,
things
ma'am.
like that?
Absolutely anything that someone wants a piano for, weddings, dinners, anything, wineries. It's just, if I'm not interrupting your conversation, I will play piano for you.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll play right here.
Yeah. I think we will have you play here. in just a little
I think we will have you play. You know,
Yeah.
I just have one question. And if you could play any song that just really gets you excited and motivated on the piano, what song is it?
Oh man, that is a great question. So I'm such a slow song person, and ironically enough, I play extremely fast because I'm just thinking. Classical music actually does that for me.
Classical.
It's kind of bizarre. It's challenging. Right now, actually, I'm learning jazz, and that's what's been getting me excited. I had a drum track behind me. I need them. I need
Yeah.
these drums.
Yeah.
And I just now started doing that. I've had the biggest cheesy smile on my face of just learning something new. So right now, I'd say jazz.
That's cool. You know, my oldest daughter, she's 7. She got a piano for Christmas this year, and just to watch her play upstairs and her figure out different songs that she
Yes,
can play
yes.
is really, really cool. And I can also remember growing up, and my dad was a big Elton John fan, and him blaring that in the garage while he's
Yeah.
working on something. Who inspires you in the music world?
Great question. I really do listen to music non-stop, even sleeping. It's crazy. Right now, I've always been into film scores, always along with classical music, and so right now I'd say great composers, Hans Zimmer, James Newton Howard, the maestro, John Williams. I've just been listening to so many film scores that they all inspire me, and
Do you think you could score a film or a commercial?
just ask. But
Hey, it's an idea.
it is. Funny enough, I actually have a couple piano projects out on iTunes and Spotify, and so my next one I'm working on, it's actually a film score-esque kind of theme. I finally found my niche, right? I've made beats and things like that and piano things, but that's where my heart is: the strings, the orchestra, the brass, all of that. And so that's what I'm actually working on, is a film score of my life.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we'd like to hear that.
Boy.
You know what's really
Yeah.
cool too when you're listening to him play is when you start figuring out what song it is, because he's not playing exactly what you hear on the radio. And after about a minute, you're like, is that Rihanna? And it's like, that's Umbrella. That's Rihanna. But it's like the way he's playing it is so beautiful and different than the pop version, you know. And then
So the funny thing about that is I was a freshman and I learned Moonlight Sonata, right? And then I realized that Apologize by One Republic, they mixed, they're in the same key. And so ever since then, I would mix classical and pop songs together. And then
that's
that's
what
why
it is.
songs flow the way they do, because my brain is like, oh, it's in that key. Let's just keep going with that key, and I just keep going back and forth. So
Golly.
that's why it does it. And then I just mix in from Rihanna to, Tupac, or from Tupac to just, Beethoven, and it just keeps going from there. And
well, enough talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's go over there and be about it.
Yeah,
All right,
do
so
it.
what we're going to do in the third segment is right here in studio, just to the right behind over our back right here, we have Anthony's piano set up, and he's going to play for us. And then we're going to head outside where John drums,
Yes.
and we're going to get a little performance from John too. So stay
Awesome.
with us in the third segment. You're going to actually hear some of the music we've been talking about. Thanks, Anthony.
Yay.
Thank you.
4 incredible radio stations. That's who we are. We are Townsquare Media, and we bring the best of radio to the North Texas area. Wake up early with NewsTalk 1290. That's us. How about Kelly Raspberry on 92.9 NIN? Yep, that's us. Bringing you the best of country with 102.3 The Bull. That's us. And rocking it all day long with 106.3 The Buzz. That's us. We are Townsquare Media, and we're proud to be a sponsor of the social space.
Start, I'll go.
I've seen him play, but